Record. All right, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm excited about today's episode. We have with us someone who is just a phenomenal person, a huge contributor to the profession. He's actually the creator and founder of the best-selling brain health supplement in the United States. As a matter of fact, they sold right around $170 million worth of the product before he actually sold the company. Please welcome Dr. Kyle Smith. How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic, and I'm really honored to be here. As for contributing to our profession, I'm honored to be interviewed by you because of the contribution you've made to doctors across the country that I know of, teaching us how to do what most doctors just don't seem to be equipped and able to normally do, social media marketing, which is obviously the key today. You empower our profession nationwide, so I thank you for all you do.
Well, thank you very much. Here's the way I look at things. The chiropractic profession has a huge message to get out to their market. True. And there's never been a better time. We've never had more tools at the ready to deliver that message. True. And I just want to make sure that that the profession is effectively using those tools to the best of their ability to get that message out there. But one of the reasons I wanted to have you on today is for what you guys have going on with within the keto world, if you will. It's groundbreaking. And as we know, especially at the beginning of the year, everyone is a little more health focused, than sometimes they are throughout the rest of the year. But keto has been obviously somewhat of a buzzword and buzz diet for the past few years. Let's start off by talking a little bit about what keto is and the benefits of just the keto diet.
Okay, that's a great introduction because I believe one of the most powerful things we can do as chiropractors is teach individuals about the power of the keto diet. There's a big but though. The but is if they go to social media, ironically, because we could just kind of talk about that. If they go to social media and take a look at these groups, these keto groups, they're oftentimes not doing keto at all. They're doing what's called Atkins. And because of that, people are commenting about keto on whether they like it or don't like it, whether they think it's good or bad. And we're talking about Atkins. We're not even talking about keto. So one of the things we can talk about in this podcast is what is clean keto? What is that exactly? Because when you empower a patient with that knowledge, you get rapid, significant, and lasting weight loss, fat loss specifically, for men and women around the central area, central adiposity. You get an improvement of insulin sensitivity, which means, your blood sugar stabilizes out. You have an improvement in focus, concentration, memory, mental performance. Generally, people say their mind gets clearer, the brain fog goes away. And I could actually keep going. There's physical performance improvements for people that are athletic, but this is all when you're doing it right. So it's key to understand that most of the information on the internet is actually misinformation. If you do it right, it empowers you. It empowers a doctor. The way I learned about this was kind of funny. I was writing a book called Brighter Mind, the first book that I wrote. And there was a nutritionist that's a friend of mine that says, have you tried the keto diet? And I was like, meh, eat meat for breakfast and meat for lunch and meat for dinner. No. And he says, that's not keto. You need to look into this for brain health benefits. And before you write about it, do it yourself for a week and then make a judgment call. And you know what I did? I did it for a week. And I'm writing the book called Brighter Mind. And suddenly I've got a brighter mind. My brain fog went away and I became an advocate of it ever since. And you mentioned Parker seminars. I speak at Parker seminars. I do continuing education. And one of the modules that's my favorite is this very subject that we're talking about right now.
What are some of the problems that you see with the keto diet?
The problems are, even when it's going to be clean keto, like I'm going to describe in a second, it's kind of hard for a patient and an individual to maintain. So let me go into real quick the problem. The number one problem is the misinformation. Keto is not Atkins. Atkins was popular years ago, and we know people did lose weight with it. But the problem is Atkins is breakfast is a hamburger patty, bacon, and cheese. That's it. Now, as chiropractors, we already know there's stuff missing nutritionally from that plate, right? Lunch is almost a repeat. They order a hamburger, and then the hamburger, no bun. So you're back to whatever veggies are on a hamburger, minimal, right? and cheese again, and maybe that's lunch. And dinner is a steak, and maybe a steak and cheese again. My point is, Atkins does work for weight loss, but that right there, that's not keto. And that's what the internet is proposing as keto. Keto is really what they call the paleo diet. It's mostly a plant-based diet. By weight, it's about 80% vegetables, but non-starchy vegetables. It's also fruits, nuts, seeds, anything and everything that's high in fiber, very low in carbohydrates. So ultimately, the diet is squashing the carb load in your diet, breakfast, lunch, and dinner down to a very, very small amount. So your body and your brain are forced to start to burn ketones, which are really fatty acids, as a fuel source. Now, here's an interesting point. The mitochondria in your brain and your body, they love burning fatty acids as ketones more than glucose. Glucose is actually a very dirty fuel. When it burns in the mitochondria, it creates free radical damage, and that ages the mitochondria. Fatty acids burn a whole lot cleaner and a whole lot longer. So from an evolutionary perspective, humans, bodies and our brains, love to burn ketones, fatty acids for fuel. So here's the deal. The keto diet is about squashing your carb intake down so your body is really forced to start to burn fatty acids. Once your body flips this switch and you start burning fatty acids, that's when all the benefits come in. The clear-headedness, the brain fog goes away, more energy, better mood, better mental performance, weight loss, because you're actually metabolizing your own fatty acids. So all these benefits kick in when you squash the carb load down. And this is the very end of the problem. If you'd start to go into keto because you ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner a low-carb diet with lots of plant-based vegetables, and then all of a sudden you have one thing like birthday cake or pasta or bread, you know, your friend takes you out to the Italian restaurant and you have the bread for dinner, you have slapped yourself out of ketosis. And it's going to take 3 to 5, maybe 7 days to enter back into it. In other words, you got to eat clean for like 7 days to get your body back to burning fat for fuel again. So what's the problem? Right there. Patients, if you're a doctor that teaches this to a patient, it's just too easy to fail, right? It's too easy to have a beer at dinner time, or bread or pasta or something that throws you out of ketosis. So for that reason, it's kind of a hard diet to maintain. But, and for me, this is a but that I'm a big advocate of, if you are willing to squash your carb count down over the period of a week and you move your body into ketosis, you've never felt better with energy, your focus, your concentration, all of that.
What about some of these supplements that are out there right now that help you get into ketosis? Prove it. I mean, you go on Amazon, there's several different, products on there.
Mm-hmm.
Are there benefits to those? Is there drawbacks to using those?
In my opinion, there are benefits. I'm a big advocate, if you will, of that, the exogenous, if you will, ketone sources, meaning you can go to Vitamin Shop right now and buy a canister of a product that's going to be ketones. And by ketones, I mean on the label, it's beta hydroxybutyric acid. That's by definition a ketone. Your brain loves to burn that stuff. Your body loves to burn that stuff. So when you take a serving of that, for me, I feel fantastic. My mental focus goes up, all the benefits of ketones. But here's the problem. You really didn't push your body into ketosis by taking this exogenous ketone. You just gave yourself an outside source of a calorie to burn, because your body is going to now preferentially burn those ketones you just added to your diet, until they're burned up. So my point is, you just displaced your body burning its own body fat to burn that exogenous outside of the body source of ketones. So I like them because they make me feel good. But if your goal is getting into keto, they don't really get you there. Now, one sidebar benefit of those exogenous ketones is it does squash or decrease your appetite. And that may help you to eat a better breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? Or eat fewer calories. That's a side benefit that comes with them. But my big point is, you just added an exogenous ketone to your diet. And now your brain and your body are going to burn that fuel source until they're exhausted. So if your goal was weight loss, right? Like a guy trying to get rid of his love handles, you really just postponed that a little bit, because you're not burning your own body fat for fuel. You're burning that ketone you just added to your diet.
So whenever you see these videos or hear about people taking some of these supplements and then waiting, 30 to 60 minutes and either using the ketone strips, from for with urine or even using the meters, checking their blood, and it shows that they're in ketosis. What it's showing is they're actually burning the ketones in the supplement, not necessarily their body.
Yes, that is a great point. I mean, that is the point. If you have a strip, a urine strip, and you're basically urinating on the strip to see whether or not there's ketones in your urine, what's spilling over is the excess amount of ketones you just drank from that product you got at the health food store. You're measuring those ketones. You're not measuring your body's ketones because your body's not producing them. You just, the much better thing, by the way, is a blood ketone monitor. And to me, it's a little bit of a pain to recommend it to a patient, but as a doctor, I'm analytical, and other doctors would be interested in looking at their own blood ketone levels. You can now get these things really inexpensively. And the blood ketone monitor plus keto strips is probably around $70 all in, and you can literally measure your blood ketone levels. And I say that's important because of this. The body was not ever created, I guess you could say, to spill an energy source out into the urine, be it a ketone, be it glucose. If it starts showing up in the urine, this fuel source, you've got too much of it in the blood. So the test strips for urine, test strips for keto are really not a good measurement, because if you're blowing ketones through your urine, you've got too many floating around in your system. Your body's built to be more efficient and not let go of energy sources like that. So what I'm saying is the blood is the very, very best place to look for a ketone.
When you and I guess you reached out to me here a couple of weeks ago, and which we have some other stuff that we're working on, but you told me about something new for the keto market. Let's talk about that.
Okay. My wife and I have been doing keto for 3 years, loving it, like I mentioned earlier, living it. I don't mind myself staying in keto all week long because I love feeling mentally sharp and having better mental performance and getting more done during the day, all the benefits that come with being in ketosis. But nonetheless, I can't help but notice on the weekends, I might want to have a carb as a cheat day, and I know I'm going to be punished for 3 to 5 days before I get back into keto, right? So it makes carbs not attractive to me, except for when you're at a family picnic and there's banana pudding, or there's birthday cake, right? Or there's bread. I'd love to be able to enjoy that. Well, I was introduced to a PhD biochemist who, from my perspective, is a genius. And I use the genius term very rarely. He has an invention, or had an invention, where he's claimed his product would push an individual into ketosis every morning they took the product, no matter what they ate the night before, which would transform the keto industry. It means that theoretically you could stay keto breakfast, lunch, and dinner, have pasta or bread, tomorrow morning be back in ketosis. When I heard that, I told my wife, Kathy, there's no way I understand how that can happen. I don't think it's true. But if he's right, he's going to change the nutrition industry, because he's going to make this diet that is so advantageous in its benefits easier for people to attain, because it means they can cheat on Monday night or Tuesday night or Saturday night and be back in ketosis the next day if they choose to do so. So of course, we obtained the product. I got a blood ketone monitor to see if it would work on me like he said it did, and it did every time. My wife started using it, started sharing it with my friends and family, and ultimately had to bring it into my company to share with the world. To me, it's the most beneficial technology I've been introduced to in 25 years. And for 25 years, I've been in research and development for nutrition. As you mentioned, I've invented some pretty cool products, but nothing I've ever seen works like this. Again, it means I can enjoy the benefits of being in keto all day long, breakfast and lunch. And come dinner time, I can have carbohydrates, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, take the product on an empty stomach, and be back in ketosis in hours. That's transformative.
And not just back in ketosis where it's going to just register on a monitor, but actual ketosis where it's my fat that my body's burning.
That's exactly right. Best point.
That's huge.
That's the biggest point. So when you are feeling it, and by the way, you don't need a blood ketone monitor. You just feel this product work because it moves you into ketosis. You're clear-headed. You can feel it because your body is burning ketones now and your brain's burning ketones. But you just made the best point. When you are measuring ketones on a blood monitor and when you are feeling the ketosis, It is your fatty acids that are being metabolized into ketones. It's not an outside source. You're metabolizing your own fatty acids, which means you've just pushed and induced that weight loss. It's what we called in biochemistry and physiology back in school, it's called lipolysis. Lipolysis is the process of burning fat for fuel. So we've now flipped that switch to we're not burning glucose for fuel, we're burning ketones, and your body is metabolizing its own fatty acids as that ketone source. So it ends up being indirectly, but directly now, a product that supports your weight loss goals in a fabulous way. Great example there. My daughter, I'll tell this story because a lot of people I think on your podcast can relate. Christmas ago got me a pair of jeans, and they were designer jeans. She was not happy with the fact that I always wear Levi's, right? So she got me something I'd never buy myself, designer jeans. And I got them out of the Christmas box, tried to put them on and couldn't get the buttons together. They were size 34. And she said, "Do you want me to go get you another size?" And I said, no, that's the wrong way to go, right?
Right.
I want to be able to fit in my 34s. This product, I'm now in those 34 designer jeans when I want to wear them. I'm in them and there's room in them. So it allowed me to accomplish that body fat goal. And for me, I just kept eating keto, kept my same exercise regimen, but this time began to lose fat. Why? Because this product pushes lipolysis, the metabolizing of your own body fat as a fuel source.
This is just sounds so much more beneficial than a lot of those other products that are on the market.
I believe it is. I believe it's a disruptive technology. There's nothing like it. I've never seen anything like it in the industry. It allows me again, and by the way, it allows chiropractors to share the benefits of the keto diet with their patient base and now have more dietary freedom to where they can have those carbs and be back the next day into ketosis, enjoying the benefits of keto and burning fat for fuel.
What would be the reasoning for waiting till morning to take it instead of just take it before bed after you cheated?
Okay, you're asking all the really good questions. So there's a lot of talk out there about fasting, right? And the intermittent fasting and the benefits of fasting. So if, for example, tonight I had bread, and let's say it's a normal dinner time meal, 6 or 7 p.m., and I go to bed later, and I wake up 7 a.m., and 8's breakfast time, I've actually fasted for 12 to 13 hours. In that 12 to 13 hours, your body has dealt with the carbohydrates you ate by storing them as muscle glycogen or pushing them into your body, where they should be. And if you've got normal insulin sensitivity, you woke up with normal glucose levels. So the reality is your body's dealt with the sugar. So now when you take the product on an empty stomach, for me personally, it works within about 60 to 90 minutes, meaning I can take my ketone levels an hour and a half later, and I'm measuring ketones now in the nutritional ketosis category. So the answer to your question, which was brilliant, is you just fasted for 12 to 13 hours. Your body dealt with the sugar. Now taking the product on an empty stomach is like a brand new start. It's like the reset button. And if I eat a keto breakfast, I'll stay in ketosis, take the product again before lunch, eat a keto lunch, you stay in ketosis all the way to the evening time. And now for your evening meal, it's decision time. Are you going to have a carb? That's okay, because tomorrow you can be back in ketosis. Or the way I do it, I'm going to eat a ketogenic dinner and wake up tomorrow and push more ketones with the product. And basically over the weekend on Friday and Saturday, have 1 or 2 cheat days. And come Monday, I'm right back into ketosis again for the week. So my point is, it gives you the dietary flexibility to decide what you're going to have for dinner. With the keto diet, you're forced to eat a keto diet, because if you have that carb, you're thrown out of ketosis again for 3, 5, maybe 7 days, depending on your metabolism. This product means tomorrow morning, you're back in a ketogenic state.
So this is brand new. It's a brand new product available really for the first time here in the US, correct?
Absolutely. It is brand new. Zanesta is taking it to market, and I'm so excited. My company has the ability to market this product and share it with chiropractors. And this to me is the first place I want to go, because this is a transformative thing in practice. Think about how many patients have chronic low back pain complaints, men specifically, because they've got all this central adiposity. They've got that body fat, that belly, beer belly, right? All that body fat around the midsection. We now have a tool to help get at that. And all the doctor has to do is instruct the patient how to eat right for breakfast and lunch. And then for dinner, stay in ketosis or eat a carb and tomorrow morning be back in ketosis and enjoy the benefits of the ketogenic diet.
This is incredible. So we've actually set up a special link where people can go to find out more information about the product. And you guys, you're offering a 30% off discount code.
Yes, a steep discount for our Chiro family. And my
Yeah,
hopes
30%, that's, that's that's a good chunk. So we set the link up. It's actually a redirect, but you can go to chirocandy.com/keto. chirocandy.com/keto. You can read more about the supplement there. And then if you do go ahead to place an order at checkout, you can enter the code Chiro30, just Chiro30, and just CHIRO30, and that should apply the discount, correct?
Exactly. It applies at a discount for anything you put in the shopping cart. And my hopes are a doctor's going to at least get one bottle for themselves to try it, because that's how I was, right? I had to prove that it works to myself, or go ahead and put as much in that shopping cart as you want. But at the end of the day, we're given that steep discount code of 30% off.
And then, if you guys are interested in having this as a supplement that you have in your office that you promote for patients, you can reach out to us. I can get you in contact. Or how could they reach out to you to find out more information about that?
At our website, there at the very bottom, there's a Contact Us tab. They can call or email. And
Okay.
any and every DC that contacts me, I'll reach out to them personally and show them how we can really set their patients up on a shipment straight to their patients and pay them 45% of that sale each and every month. We have some chiropractors that are really doing well with this in adding new revenue to their practice by setting their patients up on an auto ship for products that arrive to their patient's doorstep each and every month, and the doctor gets paid the referral fee for that.
All right, very nice. So that's chirocandy.com/keto. And then the discount code at checkout is simply Chiro30. Dr. Kyle Smith, thank you so much for being on today. Is there anything that you would like to say in closing?
Thank you for having me, and I'm excited to meet new doctors that are interested in bringing the benefits of keto into their patient base. Like I said at the top, I don't think there's a more beneficial strategy than showing people how to metabolize their fatty acids. I had a lot to metabolize, right? I couldn't even get into those genes. And we get to share those benefits with our patients now with a product that helps them win. So as I went to Parker College of Chiropractic, now Parker University, Jim Parker used to say, loving service is my first technique. I feel like my loving service is sharing this product with the world. So I thank you for equipping me with the ability to do that.
It's just amazing to me. I mean, think about being able to tell people, hey, you can actually be in ketosis every day and be more flexible with your diet.
It's revolutionary. It's
and
disruptive.
Every day still be burning your own fat for fuel.
Exactly.
So this is huge. Great stuff. Thank you so much for being on today. And guys, if you have any questions, just reach out.
Thank you.